Hey, retro lovers! Welcome to the Nostalgia Junkies podcast, where we talk all about pop culture, retro toy collecting, and nostalgia. And now, here are your Nostalgia Junkies.
I'm Alex.
I'm Cruz.
And this is Nostalgia Junkies, your one-stop podcast for all things 80s, 90s, 2000s, pop culture, video games, music, and more. But I'm excited because this is our last episode of the season.
Yeah, kind of crazy. Time flies, man.
I know, ending of season 3.
Yeah.
But y'all, don't worry. We will be back in September, so we'll be taking July and August off. But like every year, we come back in September.
Yeah. Next season should be fun.
We got some things in the
surprises.
works. We'll keep those under our lid for now.
Correct.
But look forward to season 4.
Yeah.
Season 4 should be a good season.
Should be fun.
But our buddy Brandon can't be here tonight.
Yeah. He was here the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
His introduction back.
Yeah, it was good having
Finally
him back.
Yes.
But he's on a cruise. He's on vacation.
Yeah. He's cruising on a cruise.
Cruising on a cruise. So we have Cruz come in.
Yeah. Hopefully he's enjoying his time. Well-deserved vacation for him and the family.
But he had a great idea for us to start off this episode.
Yes, he did.
We are going to look at some summer trailers that are coming out, starting with Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah.
My name is Happy Gilmore. 30 years ago, I decided to give golf a try.
But even when you're at the top of your game, you can always shank one.
Happy Gilmore sucks?
Oh, eat a bag of shit!
How are you going to put Vienna through ballet school?
It's $75,000 a year. That's 4 years. That's 333 grand.
That's terrible math, Johnny. It's 300 grand. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Let them see the happy I fell in love with.
Come on, you gotta do it, Dad.
All right, let's go. Let's go get him, Dad.
But how about the jig?
I know how to do it, Dad.
Let's go. Okay, I got this.
What the hell is happening?
Happy Gilmore is breaking in yet another caddy he just met.
All right, we're gonna go. See, but you bring those. Those always come. All right, that's it. They got a strap if you want to use the strap.
Happy Gilmore didn't have things flowing on the first film.
Oh,
Check out the name tag, grandson. You're in my world now.
I got you a little something there, Pop. Everyone is talking about a comeback kid.
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore!
You've been watching me play Mr. Gilmore. So inspiring.
My dad loved you, man. I am so sorry. Give him here. I got some Gorilla Glue.
Remember the happy place I went to? You go to yours.
Oh my God, Rory!
Jackass. Bingo.
You stole my life from me.
Why would I want to steal the life of somebody who eats pieces of shit for breakfast?
Straight to Netflix.
Yeah.
July 25th.
Yeah, I mean,
Ramses' birthday.
really,
That's crazy. So Fantastic Four and Happy Gilmore are coming out on the same day?
is Fantastic Four the 25th as well?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Well, technically the 26th, but they do 25th.
early day, yeah. Dude, there's so much to unpack in that Happy Gilmore 2 trailer.
Yeah, it was obviously ton of the old characters, but the new characters and the people that are playing them are
So it was nice to see a lot of the current SNL cast be brought in,
correct.
especially when what's Higgins's kid? Please Don't Destroy. So like Steve Higgins's son has that group, Please Don't Destroy, and there's another one of the writers whose son's also in that, and the son is here in this. Martin Herlihy, whatever his name is.
Yeah, correct.
His son's now in the movie.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Eric Andre was in there. Oh God, was it Lamar Wilson? Is that
yeah. Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny? Dude, there's so many.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. Fingers crossed, right? I mean, to top the original would be tough, but the preview looked great.
I don't think it's going to be better than the original.
It's almost never.
I think it's also very important to go into this movie knowing that it's just trying to like pay homage to the original.
Correct.
Like it's more of just like, hey, let's just continue the story. It's not trying to live up to the hype.
Correct.
It's honestly like many Adam Sandler projects, it's just a fun goofing around movie.
Yes, correct.
And that's what this is. It's not aiming for an Emmy. It's not aiming for an Academy Award. There's no Oscars. There's no Cannes Film Festival.
Adam Sandler, he just does stuff out of passion, right? Like most of his movies are like, you can tell no other company would pick it up. It's just him saying, I want to make a movie with my friends again.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to film something.
That's why I loved Grown Ups.
Yeah.
Grown Ups was that core, I mean, other than Chris Farley, rest in peace.
Correct.
It was that core Adam Sandler group from SNL that all got canned.
Yep.
It was all of his buddies that he started making movies with as soon as he left.
Yep.
And that's what he did Grown Ups with.
Yeah.
Grown Ups 2, I felt it was okay. But it was trying to live up to the hype.
Yeah.
Opposed to just, let's just do another fun movie.
Correct.
I am hoping Happy Gilmore 2 is just another fun movie and not trying to recapture all of the Happy Gilmore glory.
Correct.
Like Chubb's son in this movie. It's funny.
Yeah.
Why is his hand wood?
Gotta be the same reason.
We have to watch the movie and find out.
Yeah.
But let's go on to our next trailer.
Yeah.
Superman.
Another one.
Superman. The most powerful being on planet Earth.
We finally meet.
Now, as planned, I'll destroy you. And of course, that reporter you always do interviews with. Who raised you as a child? I'll kill them too.
No matter what you do to me, Luther, your plans won't work.
Wrap it up.
Good luck with that.
Make a move, Big Blue.
Buckle up.
They chose him. Let them die.
Hey! Quit messing around!
I'm not messing around. I'm doing important stuff.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Okay. I'll be honest. I'm not excited for another Superman movie.
I've never been excited for a Superman movie. I think it's overdone, right? I think besides Batman and Superman, there are so many other characters DC can go with to make a franchise. I think trying to go back to the well,
Mhm.
for the same character, and now this is like what, the fourth or fifth different actor on Superman now. Well,
Yeah.
movies,
Yeah,
not with
yeah.
the shows.
There's Christopher Reeves. There was who was the guy after Dean Cain,
Dean Cain,
Brandon Routh,
Henry
Henry
Cavill.
Cavill, and
Yeah.
now
Ugh. I
David
don't.
Cornsweet.
I
It's
DC
been a
movies
lot.
in general are lackluster. I'm sorry, DC fans. I'll watch it when it comes to home,
Mhm.
but I will not go to the movie theaters for this one.
So I agree. The movies have been less than appealing.
Yeah.
The sad thing is, from a comic standpoint, I think that DC has much more compelling stories.
Yes.
I think that Marvel has bigger, flashier stories in the comics, but as an actual narrative, DC is so deep. It's been
Yeah.
phenomenal comic writing, and we just haven't seen it translated to screen.
Yeah.
We've seen the same stories, the same villains over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And
Which
honestly,
is
in an era of superhero fatigue, is redoing another Superman movie the
the way
wisest option?
and it's kind of sad because you have James Gunn as the director, and after working on the Marvel stuff, like, you would hope he would bring some of that with him, and it looks like it just fell into DC trap again.
So that's where I want to see what happens when the movie comes out.
Yeah.
Because the one thing that they've done well with Superman so far is the Superman movie is not just a Superman movie.
Mhm.
We have Metamorpho, we have Green Lantern, you have
That's
Hawkman,
correct.
you have Mr. Terrific. The amount of heroes that they've introduced,
Yeah.
and not super obscure heroes, but I mean, for a Green Lantern, it's Guy Gardner. It's not Hal Jordan. It's not John Stewart. It's Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
We introduced Mr. Terrific, which, if you watched Arrow, if you watched Young Justice or Justice League growing up,
Yeah.
you know who Mr. Terrific is. But if you haven't watched that and you're just a casual DC movie fan, you have no idea who that is.
Correct.
The one thing that I'm super impressed with in the trailer, they actually let Mercy, Lex Luthor's assistant, be Mercy.
Yeah.
We have not seen her do
Be
what she's done.
Yeah, correct.
Like, Mercy is basically a glorified assassin
Correct.
as a bodyguard for Lex Luthor. She's a cyborg, just killing machine.
Yeah.
And we've seen her in movies, but we've never seen her to her capacity.
Which we just did.
Like,
in
she has
a
the
3
buzzsaws
second,
coming out of the hand.
3-second clip. So yeah. We'll wait and see. Again, I'm not a big DC fan outside of Batman, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I might go see it in theater just because, like, I'm excited they're doing Metamorpho.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're doing a lot of the effects for this movie with practical effects.
Correct.
Instead of a CGI monster or a CGI costume, they're doing a lot of practical effects. I think that's really cool. And that's something I might want to go see in IMAX.
And this looks like a younger version of Superman. So it's like early adulthood, not like later or teen. So we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, it'll be a Saturday morning $5 movie for me, but
Yeah. Yeah.
But let's watch the Fantastic Four trailer.
Yeah.
Family. It's about connecting to something bigger than yourself. Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together.
Johnny, now!
As a family.
Today, we are your defenders. The four of us will face the danger. And we will protect you.
Is this guy good?
finally knocked it off the list.
List.
The new spacesuits.
I take back every single bad thing I've been saying about you. To myself. In private.
July 25th.
Yeah. So it's funny when they announced the cast, I really wasn't excited about any of the casting.
Yeah.
I think that Joseph Quinn actually looks like a pretty good Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
I was not excited for it. I did not think he was a good casting. I actually wanted Dacre Montgomery from Stranger Things.
I could see that. Yeah.
I think he's a more conventional one,
Correct.
but quite honestly, the way Joseph Quinn has just played him in the trailer, he looks really good.
And I kind of like that this movie is kind of set in the, well, it says first step. So it's kind of set at the beginning of,
like in that 60s era.
Yeah.
Well, it's set like when the original comics were written.
Correct.
Which I think is a cool way to do it. I know obviously they're going to have to cross dimensions.
Yeah.
But there's so much here that they can do. I'm not excited for another Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for the Fantastic Four to be introduced to the MCU and what that opens up for stories.
So that's the thing, right? Fantastic Four, that group is like a glue, a web, right? In the web. It's like the tentacles from Fantastic Four kind of crosses all of the MCU. So yeah, it's very exciting, obviously based in the early days, so 1960. So prior to anything that we've seen previously on any of the movies. So the tie-in is going to be very interesting.
I feel like as for Fantastic Four movies,
Yeah.
we've been there, done that.
And we get to see a real Galactus this time.
That is the one thing I'm excited about.
Instead
But,
of
like,
Dark Cloud thing.
the Cloud Monster. I can't with the Cloud Monster.
Yeah.
But dude, like we had the original ones with Ian Giffard and Michael Chiklis.
Yep.
We got two of those.
Yep.
And then we had the Fan Forstic movies with Miles Teller.
Yeah.
Are we really getting like we were just complaining about with Superman?
Yeah.
We were just saying in regards to Batman as well.
Yeah.
Like we're now doing the same thing, but with Fantastic Four.
Yeah. It's almost like a remake of that first one. But I think with Marvel Studios actually owning the rights now, and
now they do own the rights.
That's what I'm saying.
But-
So it opens up, the possibilities of greater things, right? So like I think this is a movie that you're gonna have to, you can have an opinion of it when you watch it, but you're not gonna know the importance of the movie until later on.
Agreed. My thing is
It's
just
almost like that Iron Man 1.
yes. But like if you're gonna bring back James Marsden,
Yeah.
Kelsey Grammer, not Charles McAvoy, Patrick Stewart,
Yeah.
Ian McKellen as your X-Men.
Correct.
Why not bring back Ian Giffard, Michael Chiklis, was it Jessica Biel, and I guess we kind of saw Chris Evans as Human Torch. We know what happens to him, little
Yeah. Yeah. But it's, I don't know. Maybe you will.
So that's where
The
like
multiverse.
so where I was saying I'm excited to see what this opens up.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we see the Council of Reeds.
Yeah.
So like basically you just have like this multiverse association of Reed Richards. So the same way we saw like that post-credit scene of the Council of Kangs, we would have the Council of Reeds.
Yeah.
Where you could have Ian Giffard.
Yeah.
You could have Miles Teller. You could bring back John Krasinski.
Yeah.
And it would be really cool to have them and Pedro Pascal all
And
working.
I think even in short, right? Like John did a really good job as Mr.
Agreed.
So
I think what would be really cool is so they have that line, I pushed the boundaries of space and space pushed back.
Yep.
I think it'd be really interesting if that's like a multiverse twist and you now start having incursions. And one of the realities that ends up like doing the collapsing of the
Mhm.
realities is that Fan Forstic group with Miles Teller and Michael B. Jordan.
Oh.
And they're fighting. And the only one to survive is Miles Teller. And this turns Miles Teller into the evil Reed Richards. So you're familiar with evil Reed
Yeah,
Richards, right?
and Miles Teller would actually be kind of a cool bad guy.
Like I want you to think of like Miles Teller, pent up
Yeah.
aggression, like in the form of like the movie Whiplash.
Yeah.
Like that's what we need. Like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, it would be fantastic.
It would be good. It would definitely be good because he'll hold like that resentment because it would be his fault for why everyone else died.
And it would just be really cool for them to keep bringing him
Yes.
back every now and then.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the things that I know we've said it on the podcast before. It's something that the MCU has not done well is keeping good villains.
Correct.
We consistently kill off good villains. I mean, even with like Hela from Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Could she be alive? Yes. But like the fact that we haven't heard anything about
Yeah.
her and Surtur, like those are two phenomenal villains
Yeah.
that we've just kind of cast into the ether.
Yeah.
But I guess out of these three, which one are you most excited for?
Um, you know, a few years back, I would have said Fantastic Four, just because of the hype of the MCU. But I'm gonna say Happy Gilmore too. I think it's gonna be a great summer flick, man. Probably watch it 4 or 5 times before the summer end.
I agree. I mean, I'm excited a little bit for Fantastic Four. I want to
Yeah.
see what it does for propelling the story forward, but it's going to be Happy Gilmore too.
Yeah.
I can already tell you that that's going to be my go-to nighttime movie. Like when I just need that white noise coming through.
Yeah.
After I watch it like 1 or 2 times, it's going to be that movie that I just fall
Correct.
asleep to.
Correct.
It's going to be like I'm a kid again, just watching Billy Madison and Waterboy going to bed.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to see what quotable lines there are from that movie.
Oh, there's gonna be a ton. I know there is.
Or watch there be none.
No,
It'd be bad, but there could be.
there's never been none. There's always something.
That's true.
All right.
Okay, let's what do you say let's get into this or that?
This or that. I saw some of these. These were pretty good this week.
You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you get with this, 'cause this is where it's at.
Today's This or That segment has been brought to you by ThrowbackBuys.com, your one-stop shop for all things nostalgic. Whether you're looking for Cookie sweaters, that Game Boy, or even the Demon Lord Furby, Throwback Buys is the site for you. Use our code NJPOD for 15% off your order. Details will be linked in the description below. So as you know, every other episode, we kind of do an 80s throwback. So I kind of went with some 85 themed This or That's this week. Our first one, we're going to be throwing down two of the biggest movies from the 80s. The Goonies and Back to the Future.
Yes.
Which one, if you could only pick one movie to watch, what's it going to be?
Love the Goonies, but Back to the Future.
Agreed.
It's not. I Again, I love the Goonies, but Back to the Future is. I can't even explain it. Watching it with my uncle, my dad, I felt like family gatherings in the holidays, you were watching Back to the Future for some reason. It was weird. It's like they played it on TV around the holidays too. Even though it wasn't a holiday movie, it was weird. I always remember seeing it like at family gatherings for some reason.
Well, probably because it would drive viewership.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, again, like I just watched Goonies for the first time
Yeah.
in 30 some odd years
Yeah.
this past year. So I feel like that kind of skews my answer a little bit. But and also, in all fairness, I watched Back to the Future for the first time only 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
I never watched these movies growing up.
I think with the Goonies was more of a kid and teen flick for its time, whereas Back to the Future was more generational.
Agreed.
So that's
I felt that So for me, you know how I feel about things
Yeah.
that are hyped up.
Yeah.
I felt growing up, everyone always told me how great the Goonies was. It's this phenomenal movie. It's the best of its kind. And it to me, it got blown up way out of proportion that it wasn't a movie that I was like, oh no, I don't want to watch this. It never came around.
Yeah.
So when I finally got to watch it, it was a good movie,
Yeah.
but with how inflated it got blown up in my imagination from how everyone told me how good of a movie it was, it never lived up to the hype. Back to the Future is one of my best friend's favorite movies of all time. The dude never shuts up about it. Are there some glaring issues with the movie in regards to time travel
100%.
and some major issues, which we'll talk about? The music, dude, oh my God. The music is phenomenal.
Come on, man.
Like, to me alone, the story is good, but Back to the Future's story beats the Goonies.
Oh, 100%.
The music of Back to the Future beats the Goonies.
Man,
The-
it's so good of a movie. They had to make it into a trilogy, man. Come on.
And it's one of those rare trilogies where each movie lives up to the hype.
Correct. And please don't make Back to the Future 4. Leave it how it is. It is pure greatness as the 3.
It's
Don't
done.
touch it.
I will say, like I said to Brandon on the last episode, I went and watched Back to the Future, the musical.
Yeah.
They did a great job with it. They changed a few things here and there, but it lived up to the movie.
Yeah.
The way that they made the car fly on stage, incredible.
Yeah.
It was really cool. And the way that they did all the effects, it actually looks like it's driving around the stage. Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But like this movie, it's just good. So I know I said Back to the Future. You said Back to the Future. Instagram also said Back to the Future with a vote of 69% to 31%.
Mm.
But one of our buddies, one of my friends, and one of our viewers, Matt, this is for you. He mentioned to me if I knew about the conspiracy theory, the fan theory that the Goonies and Back to the Future take place on the same day. Did you know about this?
No.
So the fan theory is that Back to the Future and the Goonies take place on the same day.
Okay.
We all know that Back to the Future takes place on October 26, 1985.
Mm-hmm.
When you're watching the Goonies, Mouth, right at the beginning of the movie, talks about it being a Saturday. We know that it's in October. When you see the newspaper that mentions the Fratellis are at large, it says October 24th, 1985. So if it's safe to assume that it's only been 2 days to the next Saturday, that Saturday will be October 26th, 1985, meaning that both Back to the Future and the Goonies take place on the same day. So this then begs the question, is it a shared cinematic universe?
It is.
And here's where my argument is. Steven Spielberg wrote the story for the Goonies. While he wasn't a director of the Goonies or Back to the Future, his company, it was Amblin Entertainment, which is owned by Steven Spielberg, was the production company for both the Goonies and Back to the Future. So could it be coincidence? Sure.
Maybe.
Is it more fun to think it's a cinematic universe that they share the same date?
I think it is.
Agreed.
I think, companies like that make funny little like Easter eggs in other movies when they're doing movies. So would be nice to talk to the directors.
I know. So I want to know, did you know that the Goonies and Back to the Future took place on the same day?
Yeah.
Or are you just hearing about it now?
I did just now.
And if you know of any other fun film theories that we have not yet discussed here on the podcast, let us know because we would love to check them out.
Correct.
But let's get into our second this or that.
Mm-hmm.
Which would you rather tune into? Nick at Night or TGIF?
I'm going to say Nick at Night. Um, I just remember watching Nick at Night with my sister. Like we would sneak in um late night, kind of be quiet in either my room or her room, close the door and kind of watch Nick at Night when we were supposed to be sleeping. So yeah, Nick at Night for me. TGIF was good, but
TGF was good. It had some really good shows. You know,
yeah.
there was what Dinosaurs, Family Matters, Full
Yep.
House, great programming. Eventually, all those programs came to came to Nick at Night.
Correct.
But Nick at Night also had family movies.
Yes.
I personally preferred Nick at Night. I love being able to watch the old TV shows. I liked being able to watch the classic sitcoms as I got older.
Right.
It's Nick at Night.
Yeah, Nick at Night. There isn't much argument there. I mean, seeing what Instagram voted,
I mean,
it was close, but
let's be real. Who of us hasn't been asleep? Nickelodeon playing on in the background. Nick at Night turns over. 2 a.m. All of a sudden, Low Rider starts playing, and it's the George Lopez show at 2 in the morning.
yes, correct.
And we wake up like, oh my God.
Mhm.
I mean, which of us haven't been there?
Can't say, but yeah, Nick at Night for me.
Yeah. Well, honestly, Instagram agreed. It was a close poll.
Yeah.
It was 55% to 45%, but it was in favor of Nick at Night.
Correct.
So our last this or that,
Yeah.
we're kind of coming down to a late 80s, early 90s vote. We're going with the Wahlbergs here.
Mm-hmm.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch versus New Kids on the Block. I know where I'm going. For me, it's Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Yeah.
I am a big Funky Bunch fan.
Yeah. For me, because I'm a 80s baby, I'm gonna say the craziness of New Kids on the Block was real. Um I'm gonna go with New Kids for me, but yeah, Marky Mark, come on, man.
I agree. The New Kids on the Block had a bigger craze.
Yeah.
I think Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch had a bigger song.
Yes, 100%.
And I think for me, like that's what did it. I want to like New Kids on the Block so bad.
Yeah.
Like, I love their marketing. I love Donnie Wahlberg. I love the whole Wahlberg from that whole
Yeah.
I mean, growing up in New England in the Boston area, that's it.
I mean, when you think about it, right? Like, I think New Kids kind of springboard the later new, obviously,
Marky Mark.
Backstreet Boys, the NSYNC. Like, obviously, there was a little gap, but I think that helped solidify that,
Genre.
having a little boy band
Yeah.
could work. So,
Well, also, I mean, without New Kids on the Block, there would be no Marky Mark.
yeah, correct.
Because Mark Wahlberg got a start in New Kids,
New
on,
Kids
the
on
Block,
the Block, yeah.
and then didn't like that genre and
Yeah,
left to
kinda
go do
moved.
his own thing.
Yeah.
And that became the springboard for him. So, I mean, New Kids on the Block really gave us a lot of music because if we didn't have that whole boy band craze, we wouldn't then really be having a lot of the girl groups that we had.
Yeah.
Like,
I
there'd be
mean,
no
it
Spice Girls.
springboard a lot because we got a lot of film from a bunch of those guys too, right? Like, wasn't just the Wahlbergs that did film from that group. Or there was a couple other new kids that did acting for a little bit.
I'm sure there are.
I don't care.
I'll be honest. I'm not a big New Kids fan.
I know.
Dude. Like,
I know. You don't have anything here.
That's a lie. I have two things. They're not in this room. One of them, I have New Kids on the Block slippers for Isla.
Oh,
she gets old that I bought from Scott.
You bought those from Scott, yes.
And then our boy Fat Boy Snacks sold me this great book of all of the all of the singers from New Kids on the Block.
Yeah.
Because Fat Boy Snacks is a huge New Kids on the Block.
And talking about Fat Boy Snacks, he told me to give you this.
What'd he give you?
But down.
Look at this little thing. Oh, this will go right on my shelf. This is great.
Yeah. Your little New Kids.
Look at that. There we go. But so that's been our this or that. So
Yeah.
let us know in the comments. Were you a fan of the Goonies or Back to the Future, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, or New Kids on the Block, or Nick at Night, or TGIF?
Yeah.
Let us know what you liked. But what do you say we get on to our meat and potatoes?
Let's do it.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
If you've enjoyed listening to today's episode, be sure to check out some of our older episodes, whether it's our Disney Afternoon theme song review or our new throwback series where we dive 40 years into the past. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for updates, nostalgia-related shorts, and videos of each episode. If you'd like to support the show, you could leave a 5-star review on your favorite streaming service or even send us an email at nostalgiajunkiesct@gmail.com to let us know your thoughts. Now, back to the show. On this episode of Nostalgia Junkies, we are going to be continuing our deep dive into 1985.
Yeah.
Because it's June and we're taking a summer off, we figured tonight we would take our time to talk about June and July of 1995 and see what was going on.
85.
85, isn't that what I said?
95.
I meant 1985. No, wasn't that a song? Debbie just hit the wall. Never had it. Yeah, was it?
Yeah.
That was a song, right?
Yeah.
85. Yeah. Okay, that was the song.
Yeah.
Okay, I did, you know when you have to like go through the song, remember the lyrics? Yeah. So we're gonna be talking about June and July of 1985.
Yeah.
Starting off with the movies.
Yeah.
And you've already kind of got a sneak peek of the conversation.
Correct.
Because the big movies from June were St. Elmo's Fire, Cocoon,
Mm-hmm.
and the big one, the Goonies.
Correct.
So the Goonies released in June of 1985.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like we already talked about it a little bit. Goonies, good movie. I think, like, for me, it was overhyped, but such a quotable line.
Correct.
Like, this is our time. This is our time down here. Like, for me, that was my favorite line of the movie. Hey, you guys. I'm going to take you home and take care of you.
Come on, Chunk.
Yeah. Okay. So the movie's a little better than I'm giving it credit for.
Correct.
It is a good movie.
It is. Cocoon. I vaguely remember. I know I watched it. I think it's weird kind of. I think it's like some older couples vacationing in like Florida, or they live in, I don't remember really. But it's a little weird for younger kids. It was big though from what I remember.
It's like a horror-esque movie.
Yeah, kind of.
Which, I mean, you know me, and horror are not the biggest.
Yeah.
So. But St. Elmo's Fire
Yes.
was a big movie for the time.
Yeah.
And between St. Elmo's Fire and The Breakfast Club, it really gave birth to that whole group with Johnny Depp and Rob Lowe, that whole crew,
Yeah.
Emilio Estevez,
Brat Pack.
the Brat Pack, which,
Yeah.
you know, in order to do honor to that conversation, we are going to have a conversation on the Brat Pack at a later date.
Correct.
Because
Yes.
there also is the documentary on Hulu, which we've been meaning to watch for over a year now. So
Yeah.
we will get into that then. But the fact that you had Goonies, Cocoon, and St. Elmo's Fire all coming out in one month.
That's a pretty good lineup.
It was great.
Yeah.
But then as we get into the first week of July,
Craziness.
we got Back to the Future.
Come on. Michael J.
Fox, Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
It was a great movie. It was a cult classic.
Yes.
And became one of the not only highest earning movies of the year,
Yeah.
highest earning movie of the decade.
Yeah. Probably of all time at this point.
Well, up to 1985. Yeah, because when did Titanic come out? It was in the 90s.
Yeah, it's crazy. Titanic's almost close to 30 years.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But
Yeah.
so
Come
we
on.
have Back to the Future. I know Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome, which you said was a
Yes.
great movie.
It's arguably the best one in that trilogy. It's a great, I can't believe you haven't watched it, but it's a great movie. It's not even a trilogy anymore because they made
So many of them.
two new ones that kind of
It was in Furiosa was the new one, right?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, but Mad Max, Mel Gibson, um, heck of a job. Tina Turner, heck of a job. Yeah,
I'll have to go watch them.
that was a good movie.
But then after that, they re-released E.T. So E.T. released in 1982,
Yeah.
but just for ha-has for the summer,
Yeah.
they put it back in theaters.
Let's re-release it.
So let's just think about this for a second. Goonies, Back to the Future, and E.T. all have some sort of tie to Steven Spielberg, all of which are in the theaters. How much money was Steven Spielberg ranking in during the
He was
summer?
a king.
Like, well, he's not Stephen King. That's Stephen King.
No, he was the king.
He was the
On
king.
top
I
of
got
that,
you. I got you.
When we did 84, right?
Mhm.
He had Indiana Jones.
Yep.
And a couple other ones too, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe you're right. Like this man was just churning out movies.
he was just banger after banger.
Well, I think a lot of that was he started shifting. Well, he was doing a lot of directing. He also did producing, and he had his production company.
Companies, yeah.
Which, I mean, the production company is what did Back to the Future and the Goonies.
Correct.
I mean, he also wrote the story for the Goonies.
Yeah.
But so after E.T. re-released, we get Disney's Black Cauldron.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Good movie.
I mean, it's, I think, one of the better 80s style animation movies for Disney.
Yeah, you could say that. It's a lot of overlay in that movie, that art style. Not too crazy of a story, right? It's a okay movie.
I think it's a good step away from their classic princess story.
Correct.
I think we too often
and
get
the
stuck
cartoony characters
in the musicals.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if it's not a princess story, it's Hercules or Lion King.
Correct.
But Black Cauldron, I think, is one of those like sleepers
Yeah.
that people just don't think about.
Yeah.
But one of our last movies released in July,
Yeah.
National Lampoon European Vacation.
Mm-hmm. Not as funny.
No? I mean, I like Christmas Vacation. I like Family Vacation. I like the Vegas one.
Yeah.
Just European kind of fell flat.
Yeah, they kind of
Beat a
tried to
dead horse.
continue, and it was no, didn't like it.
Too much of a good thing isn't a good thing anymore.
Correct.
But I mean, just look at these movies. Like 8 movies that we just listed out. Obviously, there are more movies than what we listed.
I think for the coverage we've done between 84 and 85, this 2-month period of movies is probably the top release we've seen so far.
Agreed. But I think also when we started the 84 deep dives, we were still talking about movies from the summer of 1984 because we had Never Ending Story. There was Gremlins. There was Indiana Jones.
Those movies, they were like just single hits that were just riding the number 1 train. But here is like you got top tier competition. Like there's not one cut.
I get what it wasn't like one movie a month.
Yeah.
This was banger after banger after
Yeah, this
banger.
was like good luck with your family funds for the next 2 months.
Agreed. But let's look at what was going on in TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in TV, there wasn't any really premieres of any shows because I mean most network premieres happen in September. So
Correct.
when we come back for season 4, we're gonna have an onslaught of not answers, but we'll have an onslaught of shows.
Correct.
But something big happened in TV. Nick at Night premiered July 1st of 1985 on Nickelodeon.
Yes.
It started with running episodes of the Donna Reed Show, Dennis the Menace, and they would eventually incorporate reruns of Saturday Night Live.
Mm-hmm.
As the shows continued to grow and there was more viewership, they expanded Nick at Night to include movies and then My Three Songs, as well as an original broadcast, which just was the only premiere, or one of 2 premieres in July. It was called Turkey TV.
Turkey TV.
It lasted 1 season and then got canceled. It was not good.
No, definitely, obviously, Turkey TV.
But I mean, let's be real. Nick at Night grew so much that it started doubling off, created a separate, not really separate channel, but it grew to become TV Land, which would then become its own network.
Correct.
Nick at Night really, I think maybe more for 90s kids, was the foundation. I mean, I guess also for 80s kids, was a
Vandal.
Nick at Night for a
Yes.
lot of us growing up in the 80s and 90s was a foundational program for family time.
Correct.
Because one of the nice things is, as a kid of the 90s and early 2000s, I was able to watch shows that my mom grew up on Nick at Night.
Yeah.
And I think that was a really cool bonding experience, to being able to go back and see, like, oh, this is what she watched when, maybe not when she was a little kid, but when she was younger.
Yeah.
These are the shows she enjoyed. And it's where TV became a family epicenter.
Yeah. We've lost that though.
Yep. I think with the era of streaming and binging, there is no community. Also, it used to be like one TV in the house.
Yeah.
Where now
Everyone has a TV.
everyone has a TV. Every device can be used to stream.
Yeah, you got your Yeah, it sucks.
Like, dude, I remember when we got a 36-inch RCA TV, like tube TV. And that was, I mean, it was a big thing, but it was big to get a TV that big. And it was like, I remember we thought it was, man, how could TVs get any bigger than this?
Man, that was the equivalent of like a 65, 70-inch TV now. It's crazy when you really think about it. We sat in front of it, bro. That's why everyone has bad eyesight
Yep.
now.
Dude, I still remember like going up, putting my hand near the TV, getting
And
the static electricity.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's how you know if your TV was good and you just had all that hair stood up.
Yeah.
But oh, it was such a fun thing.
I love seeing like when your TV was a little bit older, an image burn. Like when you would turn it off, you could still see the image for a while, even though the TV was off.
But do you remember when your TV started getting old and it was a hot day, what would happen? The picture would go out. It'd start going.
Oh yeah.
Remember how you fix it?
No.
Smack the side of the TV.
Oh.
Yep. I mean, could you imagine if we smacked the side of a flat screen now? That thing's breaking.
They're breaking. Yeah.
Losing a pixel. TVs are not built the same way that they're
No,
doing.
definitely not.
But dude, because you used to have to. It wasn't a light tap tap.
No, you had
It
to
was
smack
a smack smack.
Yeah, you had to smack it.
But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Nick at Night was premiered in 1985.
Yeah, there
But,
wasn't much going on TV, man.
But we had 2 news updates.
Yes.
So first, from Coca-Cola,
Mm-hmm.
after introducing New Coke and the flop of New Coke, Coca-Cola brought back the original Coca-Cola brought back the original formula, leaving New Coke behind.
Yes.
So
Screw you, New Coke.
yeah, I'm there's some things that like I'm sad I never got to try or didn't get to try again. Like, the last time you drank a Sobe tea. Like, dude, I miss Sobe tea so much. And it's something that, I'll never get to have again. New Coke is one thing I'm happy I missed.
It's like they say, man. It's like that feeling that you don't know the last time you get to hang out outside with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I wish you can go back and pinpoint those specific time points in your life. Like, dang, this is what I did the last time
Mm-hmm.
I hung outside with kids before I thought I was too cool, or like you said, the Sobe tea, walking into the grocery store or convenience store and thinking like, yeah, these will be back, and boom, that was it.
Be neat, like if when you die, whether you go to heaven, the great beyond, whatever you believe in, if there was like, God, what was that thing in Harry Potter where like Dumbledore would pull out his hair, the remember thingy, whatever it was, and you could watch those old memories.
That would be so cool.
And just like, because we build it up in our head of the last time we did something.
Yeah.
And like, was the last time you rode bikes with your friends? Was it as good as you remember it to be?
Yeah.
Or is that last time you rode bikes with your friends in your memory a compilation of all the feelings around it?
Correct. Would be interesting.
It would. It would be. But
Yeah.
there's one more headline that I thought we should bring up.
Yeah.
July 3rd,
Mm-hmm.
Tinkerbell took her first flight at Walt Disney Resort in Florida. This is when she would go up and light everything, and then when we get the fireworks after that, right?
Yeah, supposedly, but they say it never happened.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't.
that's one of those Mandela effect things.
Really?
Yes, look it up.
Wait, so Tinkerbell would go and then there'd be no fireworks?
Mm-hmm.
What? Okay.
Or that she doesn't even go around the castle and go ding. Look up Mandela Tinkerbell.
Okay. Wow. So yeah, here's an article from 2024. Tinkerbell's existence denied by Disney. Mandela effect cited.
Yep.
Oh, this is no. So they're referencing
Like the commercial
the
thing.
commercial.
Well, not the commercial. Like their movie entrance. thing.
Yes. That's what they're saying Tinkerbell never did. The headline is about Walt Disney World.
Oh, okay.
Where like Tinkerbell would
I'm
fly
sorry.
and
Yeah.
like
But
you know, they
that's
send the
still
light-
kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Dude, I swear
Everyone in the world swears.
that Tinkerbell she came out for like one. Like it was a commercial or a
So it was every Disney movie on Disney, like when they did the
like
you
Wonderful
know,
World of Disney. She would
the-
come out and
yeah, ding. They said that never happened.
maybe it was just the like that light arc that we saw that maybe we thought was Tinkerbell. I don't know, man.
So
Disney, you're not right for this one. Tinkerbell came out.
Are
Let it-
we
like
are well, you know, scientists say that we're stuck in a wormhole. So maybe the Mandela effect is real because we're just stuck in the middle of darkness.
Okay, so what you're telling me
Yeah.
is this Mandela effect
Yes.
says that the intro to Disney movies, where it says Walt Disney and then has the little spark,
Tinkerbell never happened.
it says that Tinkerbell never came out.
Yes.
Dude, so I don't know. Let us know. Do you remember Tinkerbell coming out and sparkling or lighting up the castle or the Disney sign
Yeah.
at
on
the beginning of a Disney
She
movie?
would come around and then
Yeah.
on the eye she would go ding.
Yeah, because I remember her doing that.
I remember her doing that as well.
But this right here says that Disney didn't. So you let us know. Do you think Disney did?
Yeah.
But what do you say we get into our trivia?
Yeah. All right. The last one of the season.
If there is any attempt by either contestant to cheat, especially with my wife, who is a dirty, dirty tramp, I am just gonna snap. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so we are going into our last trivia of the season, 1980s. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Hit
Here
me with it.
is your first question. Put these Huey Lewis in the News albums in chronological order of their release. Huey Lewis in the News. Picture This. Sports. 4.
Picture this. News, sports, and 4.
Incorrect.
I don't even know who Huey Lewis is. I'm sorry.
Buddy, we just had a whole conversation on Back to the Future.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry.
Power of Love, Back in Time.
Yes.
It's
yes.
hip to be square.
But you know, like, you know me, I don't know the people's names that make the music. I just remember the music, but I don't even know the names of a lot of like movie music that I like. I just know that I like the music and I remember it from movies.
I got you. It was just funny. So
Go ahead.
the answer is Huey
News.
the answer is Huey Lewis in the News. Picture This, Sports 4.
That's what I said.
You did Picture This, News, Sports 4.
Oh.
You were close. But
I just flipped a 2.
So actually, just going back to our conversation on Back to the Future for a second. Did you ever catch the Huey Lewis in the News reference in the movie Back to the Future?
No.
So you know when Marty McFly is doing the audition for the band,
Yes.
the guy, the adjudicator, is Huey Lewis in the News.
Oh,
He's
really?
Huey Lewis.
Huey Lewis.
What's funny is when I saw the musical, the adjudicator is dressed just like him and looks like a carbon copy of Huey Lewis.
Really?
Just because that might have been too much of a like an Easter egg reference.
Yeah.
Marty's girlfriend in the movie has an uncle Huey
Yep.
that works in the music industry, and she wants him to tell Marty the good news.
Yeah.
And like they really tried to pepper on that label.
Correct.
But I thought that was just kind of funny.
All right. Your first question. What did Michael Jackson debut during his performance of Billie Jean at the Motown 25 special in 1983?
The moonwalk.
Correct. I mean,
I was like, what could he debut?
Yeah.
It was going to be that or the lean. Remember the lean, the anti-gravity
Yes.
lean?
Was the lean for Billie Jean?
I don't think the lean was from Billie Jean.
What was
I don't know what it was for, but
it? Was
he
the
had
one where they
shoes.
were in the suits, so it was later on.
Yeah. Okay, so your next question.
Okay.
What was the first hit single from the heavy metal gender bending glam band Twisted Sister? We're Not Gonna Take It, I Wanna Rock, You Can't Stop Rock and Roll, or The Kids Are Back.
I'm gonna say the second.
I Wanna Rock?
Yeah.
It was not the first hit single.
No.
The first hit single by Twisted Sister was We're Not Gonna Take It. We're not gonna take it.
Yeah. Okay.
That was that one.
Okay.
You've been giving me music questions
I know.
all season.
I know. All right, here we go. Put the Huxtable kids from the Cosby Show in birth order from youngest to oldest. Vanessa, Denise, Sandra, Theo, Rudy.
From youngest to oldest.
From youngest to oldest.
Okay, name them again.
Vanessa, Denise, Sandra, Theo, Rudy.
I don't know. I can even remember all their names. Was Rudy the youngest? Yeah. Okay. And then was what? Vanessa, Theo, Denise, and what's the last name I'm missing? Sandra. Was it Rudy? Then Vanessa?
Yep.
Then Theo.
Yep.
Then Denise, then Sandra.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. Rudy was easy.
Not really. I wasn't thinking of Rudy. I was thinking of Raven Simone's character.
Who was Rudy?
Not Raven Simone's character. Was it?
No.
Yeah. Rudy was just the youngest sister.
Yeah. Raven Simone was the daughter of
Denise.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why I kept getting mixed up because I was waiting to hear Raven Simone's character name. And I'm like, I'm not hearing it. And I'm like, oh my God. But okay. Your last one.
Okay.
A non-musical question.
Okay.
What convenient snack hit the scene in 1981, comes in a patented sealed bag, and takes approximately 2.5 to 3.5 minutes to prepare?
Popcorn.
Specifically, what kind of popcorn?
Herbro. No.
Orville Redenbacher?
No, that's older. It is popcorn. Though,
It is
right?
popcorn. I don't need a brand name. I need what kind of bag it is.
Microwavable.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep, microwavable popcorn, 1981.
Yeah. I think we didn't go over that, but yeah. Okay. So your last question: put these television shows in order they originally aired on NBC Thursday night must-see TV lineup in 1984.
Great. Only 9 years before I was born.
Yeah. Family Ties, Cheers, The Cosby Show.
Okay. Does it wants them in their order for the nightly lineup and order in chronological premiere?
Chronological premiered.
Okay, so it's Family Ties, Cheers, and then The Cosby Show.
Yep.
Family Ties, Cosby Show, Cheers.
Nope.
No?
Nope. You were close.
Is it Cosby Show, Family Ties, Cheers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You just had those two flip flop.
I
Yeah.
couldn't remember which came first. Does it give you the years of premiere?
No, so they were all 1984.
Oh, they're all 1984.
Yeah. They were all 1984.
Oh, so it wanted the way that they premiered at the night.
Yeah. On NBC
In their
Thursday
lineup.
night must-see TV. Yes.
Got you.
How they
got you.
premiered. Yeah. It was still not when they officially premiered.
Yes.
But how they premiered on the nightly lineup. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So 1980s, guys.
Wow. That's I guess that's a wrap on season 3.
Yeah. Guys, can't wait to see you guys in
4.
September.
Yep.
You have some exciting things happening over the summer.
Yep.
Same here. Definitely Brandon has some cool things happening. So yeah, guys, we'll be seeing you guys in
September. But just so you're not, done with Nostalgia Junkies content,
correct.
We are still premiering all of our shorts or putting out shorts on Instagram. All shorts have now been moved over to Nostalgia Junkies Pod instead of Nostalgia Junkies Podcast.
Correct.
So be sure you're following us over there, as well as we will have mini-sodes this summer.
Oh, yeah.
So we've talked about how I've got to interview a couple really cool people throughout this past year.
Yes.
We are going to be releasing the interviews with Steve Levine and Ron Rudat throughout the month of July.
Yeah.
And hopefully we will have some fun interviews for you for August as well.
Yeah.
But those are only little mini episodes. They'll be like 7 minutes,
Yeah, short.
with your morning coffee.
Correct.
Listen to our older episodes for your morning commute.
Yeah.
But I've been Alex.
I've been Cruz.
Peace.
That's all, folks. Thank you for listening to the Nostalgia Junkies podcast. Follow us on social media, subscribe to the podcast, and make sure to never miss an episode. Till the next episode.